In this morning's Most Haunted series, we take you to Captain Grant's Inn in Preston. Fox 61's Tim Lateau takes us inside the nearly 3-century-old house believed by some to be inhabited by ghosts.
This remote cemetery in Preston is more than 300 years old. A woman fixed up a nearby bed and breakfast 3 decades ago and quickly realized some of the spirits were already inside the house.
The house is haunted and I'll prove it to you after breakfast.
One side of Captain Grant's Inn.
This is the east living room.
To the other.
This is the west living room. And it has the see-through fireplace. And when it's cold in the winter, we have breakfast with a fire.
Unseen spirits are waiting to reveal themselves to guests of the 271-year-old bed and breakfast that was built by Captain William Grant.
People come here and they have no idea the place is haunted, and then they learn it's haunted. Oh my gosh.
Carol Matsumoto has owned the inn for 30 years and first got the idea to buy it when she moved in next door after a divorce.
I was looking out my kitchen window one day. I said, I'm going to buy that and make it into a bed and breakfast.
During the 15 months it took to restore the inn, Matsumoto says she discovered it was haunted, but didn't want to scare away prospective guests.
I hid the fact that it was haunted for 4 years. This New York City detective was staying, and he came down at 7 o'clock on Sunday, wanted his money back, and said that my husband and I were the 2 rudest innkeepers he had ever met.
The jig was up, and Matsumoto had to come clean.
Daniel Whipple walks around in the attic, and he stomps around.
Why do you think that this place is haunted? Do you think it's for sure haunted?
Of course it is. Yes. If you were to stay here for, let's say, a week, oh yeah, you'd know that it's haunted.
So for 3 decades, and even to this day, Matsumoto says the ghosts of Captain Grant's Inn continue to interact with guests.
3 people this weekend heard a loud bang in the hallway. And then the outside door came flying in. And one of the women heard, "Mom," and she said, it sounded like a child. And I said, maybe a 5-year-old child? She said, oh yeah, it was a little child. I said, well, that's Deborah Adams.
Matsumoto says some of the spirits may have once lived in the house like Captain Grant himself, while others drifted in from nearby cemeteries that date back to the 1600s.
There are a lot of spirits here, and I know the names of about 7 or 8 of them.
Why do you think that this is such a populous sort of place for spirits?
They like it here. I don't have any other. I've asked that, and that's what I get. They like it here.
Matsumoto has even written a book about all that she's learned from the spirits and believes all of our souls become one when we die.
The spirits are in the dimension of time.
She says spirits should not be feared and that her inn only has well-meaning ones.
But the spirits are not bad spirits, they're good spirits.
For the majority of her life, Matsumoto never gave the afterlife a second thought.
I learned that I could talk to the spirit world. I learned it when I was 60 years old, of all things. And I know a lot about the spirit world.
Now, it's been the highlight of her earthly existence.
I believe that this house picked me, I didn't pick it.
Spirits might stick around forever, but bed and breakfasts are not. According to Matsumoto, 3 decades ago, there were more than 40 bed and breakfasts in New London County. Now, there are fewer than 10. In Preston, Tim Lateau, Fox 61.
And if you've enjoyed Tim's story and want to see more like it, watch the Fox 61 News every night this week at 6 and 10. And later this week, you can catch our most haunted streaming special on Fox 61 Plus. That's our free streaming platform. Download Fox 61 Plus today on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV, and then get ready for a frightfully good time.